He is already set to stand trial for 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct. Today, a former Major League Baseball player turned high school coach was arraigned on an additional charge. This afternoon, Chad Curtis was charged with 1 more count of second-degree criminal sexual conduct. Curtis was arrested back in May following allegations that he inappropriately touched female students while working at Lakewood High School in Barry County. We're told he is no longer affiliated with that school. Curtis also served as the athletic director for North Point Christian School in Grand Rapids until he was fired for unknown reasons in 2009. Tonight he is behind bars on a $100,000 bond. Curtis will appear in court again later this month. As students get ready for the upcoming school year, the Grand Rapids Public School Board is getting ready to make some drastic changes. A meeting is happening right now. That's where we find Dave Spencer with more on the future of the district. Well, another story that's been getting a lot of attention today, so-called mutant butterflies that were found near the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan. Researchers have found that butterflies from the area near the plant had abnormalities like smaller wings or damaged eyes. The team says the mutations could be from both external and internal exposure to radiation from the atmosphere or from contaminated food. The concern is that something like that could happen to humans. Now, Rick Mecklenburg, that is not good news, but it's better than when I think of mutant butterflies, which is this. Of course, oh no, it's Mothra.
Yeah, that's a bad day right there,
That is
Tim.
a mutant butterfly right there. I think we should get that up behind you on the weather wall. You could play the part of Godzilla.
That's a little bit scary right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm Tim Doty. Welcome to Fox 17 News at 5. We start tonight with some developing news out of Montague, where a person on a bike was seriously injured in a collision with a semi this afternoon. Fox 17's Dave Spencer is on the scene and sent us these photos. The accident happened around 3 o'clock at the intersection of Whitbeck and Eilers Road. Police tell us a guy in his late teens attempted to cross the intersection on his bike when he crashed into the semi. Now, while the bike stayed in one place, the bicyclist was dragged a few dozen feet under the rear tires of the truck, and his arm was trapped under those tires when first responders got there. He was conscious and was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police aren't releasing the person's name, but witnesses tell us he was not wearing a helmet. We will have more updates on this story coming up tonight at 6. 3 members of a Russian punk band have been sentenced to 2 years prison time for an anti-government protest earlier this year. The members of the band, whose name we cannot say on TV, were convicted of hooliganism for performing a song that was critical of President Vladimir Putin in a church last February. The 3 women have already been detained for 5 months, and that time served will count towards their sentence. The court reportedly took into account the fact that 2 of the women have children, but on its Twitter feed, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow called the sentence, quote, disproportionate. Amnesty International calls the band members, quote, prisoners of conscience. He just became the all-time medal winner at the Olympics, and now there's a chance that Michael Phelps could be stripped of his gold, silver, and bronze. It's because of a photo shoot that Phelps did with the fashion house Louis Vuitton and famed photographer Annie Leibovitz. A few pictures leaked during the games, and that's a no-no because of a rule which states that athletes can't promote anything non-Olympic related until August 15th. The spread was officially set to be unveiled on August 16th. The International Olympic Committee could punish Phelps by stripping him of his medals, but don't hold your breath for that one. Horrifying discovery for police on the east side as they find a woman and her 2 sons dead in their Van Buren Township home. But the reason they were at that home makes the story even stranger. Police arrived at the house this morning to notify the woman that lived there that her husband, Michael Vanderlinden, had been killed in a car crash in LaPorte County, Indiana. Indiana State Police say the man left a rest stop in Michigan City, headed east in the westbound lanes of I-94 and drove head-on into another car. Both vehicles burst into flames and both drivers were killed. After identifying Vanderlinden, authorities went to his house in Belleville. That's when they discovered his wife and 2 sons, aged 7 and 4, stabbed to death. There were no signs of robbery or forced entry. The investigation continues, but the medical examiner says it appears Vanderlinden committed the crime and then took off.
A memorial will be held tonight on the east side of the state, remembering the victims of Flight 255.
Hard to believe it was 25 years ago today that the plane crashed shortly after taking off from Detroit Metro. Fox's Ron Savage has the story.
Making 87 eggs.
It's so calm there on the table when they're looking at it. It didn't move at all.
Gross.
And our #1 story, new words being added to the Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary today. Some of the more interesting ones include F-bomb, sexting, bucket list, energy drink, life coach, and the Oprah-inspired phrase, aha moment. The company picks about 100 editions for the dictionary's annual update. Others include flexitarian, which is defined as one whose normally meatless diet occasionally includes meat or fish, along with obesogenic, which is an adjective for promoting excessive weight gain. Man cave and craft beer are also being added. I hate the phrase man cave.
I can't believe that
I think
wasn't
that's one that
already
should
in
be
the dictionary.
expunged. These aren't words, these are phrases. I don't go to the dictionary for phrases,
Right.
I
That's
go
true.
for words, and I
That's
almost dropped my iPad.
Which is
so
which is in
angry.
next year's
Right.
dictionary, the
It
word
would end up
iPad.
it would end up like that Burmese python there.
That's right.
Not moving, not doing a whole lot.
Talk about burying the lead here. A Christmas Story 2, seriously?
Very disappointing.
Oh, that's just awful.
Daniel
never be as
Stern
good.
plays the father, and a teenage actor plays Ralphie, but I don't recall his name.
Not
be as
looking
cute as
forward
the
to that.
original Ralphie.
Couldn't possibly be as good
None
as
of us
the
will
original.
ever see it because it's straight to DVD. So.
Right. It would protest it. Because
Yeah.
Christmas Story was such a terrific movie.
Well, we should protest. If
Absolutely.
there's something to get mad about, that's it.
Sequels are never as good.
He is accused of stabbing a man at a Walker hotel 2 years ago. This morning, Jack Maine entered a plea on the day that his trial was finally set to begin. Jack Maine pleaded no contest to second-degree murder. It comes after a lengthy court process to decide whether or not he was fit to go before a jury. Jack Maine is accused of stabbing father and traveling businessman Mark Moore at a Motel 6 in August of 2010. He was arrested several days later after he was found sleeping behind a bench at a 7-Eleven in Missouri. Jack Maine will be sentenced next month. The trooper initially involved in that motorcycle chase found himself in an eerily similar situation today. This time it was a car chase that ended in an arrest. It started before 9 a.m. on I-94 near US 131 in Kalamazoo County. The trooper tried stopping a red Dodge Charger, but the driver took off. Speeds reached 120 miles an hour before the suspect got off I-94 near Ashtimo, then abandoned the car on a nearby dead-end road. The suspect ran into a nearby cornfield but was met on the other side by troopers assisting at the scene. The suspect is a 19-year-old Portage man who had just bonded out of jail 3 days earlier after being arrested on a felony gun charge. Charges for today's incident are expected. I have to take umbrage with the 6th place pick for Ferris.
Yeah,
Seriously?
I know. And Tony Anisi's known for turning programs
Yeah,
around.
exactly. They will not
doing
finish
good.
sixth.
I'm with you on that
They'll
one.
show them all. Show them all. And you know, it's starting to feel like fall. It really is. Maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Well, no.
But it kind of is.
It is, and it's definitely going to start feeling like it for the upcoming
good.
weekend.
Good. I
Kind of feels like summer out there tonight, though. It's
I
starting
feel
to-
a chill in the air between the two of you here.
between me
I
and
know.
Tara.
Yeah, with your
The Facebook wars?
We're
snipes
holding
and
them
glares.
apart
That's
during the
right.
Don't be
commercial.
jealous.
We're going down to the wire on this one. I think
You
we
can
have.
like them both.
Yeah.
I like you
No.
both.
Yeah, that's right. I think we have till the end of the month on this contest, right?
Yeah. I think we should be teammates in this, Rick.
I think we should.
Okay.
Now I feel like I'm in a tennis match.